It's time. Radical Reviews 25, Disventure Camp, Season 1. Last year, I reviewed Disventure Camp Season 2, and in my opinion, it's better than most of the Total Drama seasons. The only one that can beat it was the Redonkulous Race, and that's a spin-off. So, Season 2 was really good. However, there was a season before it called Adventure Camp. And in my opinion, of what I've seen of it, because I haven't seen it all, it's not very good. Compared to the other seasons, like some of the plot lines were a bit rushed. And the animation quality isn't as great as Season 2's, which is totally fine. This season ran so the others could fly. So, they remade it with a new elimination order, new hosts, new contestants, and new plot lines. So, why is this review like this? Because I think Disventure Camp Season 1 deserves this. However, there's one question. Is this review like this for the good or the bad? Should this have just stuck to the beta? Or is this a magnum opus and better than any of Total Drama? Let's find out. Before, all clips and music used for this video is owned by Odd Nation Cartoons. Why am I doing this? So you can witness it yourself and experience some high quality music. And to mention, a spoiler warning is going to be put in place right now. So, let's begin. First episode is named Episode 1, simply. This is where we meet the hosts and the contestants, and the basic rules for the game. We have Will, Ashley, Alec, Lil, Nick, Ellie, and Gabby for the purple team. For the teal team, we have Dan, Gret, Tom, Jake, Drew, Fiore, and Miriam. I wish we saw more of the contestants in the beginning, rather than a few short confessionals from Lil and Gret. But we will get to the other characters later in other episodes and in this review. And for the hosts, I'll get to them later. Let's just say for now, I really enjoyed Trevor and I like Derek. After some more enjoyable rule explaining, the teams head to their bases for the first time. Honestly, I just love the simplicity of the first episode. It really shows the war, and we get to see more of who these characters are. For the purple team, I really love Gabby. However, the others are really likeable as well. For the teal team, I really enjoy Miriam and Fiore. However, that's just the walking scene. I just love how realistic and simple this episode is. It's kind of therapeutic. Will and Ashley start interacting, and also Lil and Nick. I really love Ashley. She's just very likeable. Those four make an alliance. However, we have our first eliminations of the season. Both teams will need to vote somebody out. They were Gabby from the purple team and Fiore from the teal team. However, another plot twist. They were just kicked from their teams. They got to join the others. Fiore was happy about that, but Gabby was still sad. Then we get to a challenge, just for a reward. Sleeping bags. The challenge is a game of capture the flag. And I love how just simplistic it is. It's not like Total Drama challenges where it's all crazy and stuff. It's more like Total Drama Island challenges, which is better. The purple team win because of Fiore's intelligence of a false flag. However, she said that Alec gave the idea. So she can go unnoticed, as she has a secret. That she's not normal. If you're asking why she's not normal, just listen to this.
These assholes are really buying into the story that I'm a helpless little girl.
Overall, this is an amazing first episode. It's just a great introduction. Will episode 2 be as good though? Maybe. Episode 2 opens up with Gabby and Drew interacting for the first time, and only time really. It was sweet. I enjoyed these simple interactions, remind me of Total Drama Island. And we also see more of Jake and Tom, which is adorable. We also see more of Gret, who seems to be the typical Total Drama villain. However, does she stay like that? We'll find out soon. Alec and Ellie realise that they're in the minority, as Will, Lil, Nick and Ashley have made an alliance. The challenge is to go up the hill, cut down 3 logs, collect the flags, hop up the logs to collect a flag. Overall, this challenge is simple but fun. I really like these challenges. A totem has been introduced, so Fiore goes looking for it. However, Gabby is the one to find it, while helping Dan search for his glasses, which is a scene I enjoy. And here comes an awesome scene. Basically, Will is too scared to ride down the log, so Fiore snaps at him. And his reactions are amazing. Will told the rest of the team, but no one believes him. Even though Ashley doesn't believe him, she still comforts him, which is really nice. And the first person to be eliminated from Disventure Camp Season 1 is Will, unsurprisingly. Overall, this episode isn't as good as the first, but it's still a 9.5 out of 10. Also, it's the first time we see Trevor's iconic eyebrow raise. 3 starts out with Gabby going to see Ellie and telling her that she has the immunity totem. These interactions were just cute and adorable, and I just loved them. Also in the beginning, I loved Nick, Lil, Dan and Miriam. The challenge was to go through doors, and in each door is a fear of one of the contestants. That contestant has to face their fear, or have a half an hour penalty. This is phobia factor, but better. One interaction to note was between Jake and Tom. They were just so cute this episode, I loved them. However, I found Alec really annoying this episode. Throughout this episode and the season as a whole, Gabby remained consistently enjoyable. Ashley wins it for the purple team. However, the win could also be contributed to many members of the teal team, like Jake, Miriam and Tom, taking penalties, which allows for some more further development to be created with them, which is great. Dan proposes a boys' alliance to kick out one of the girls. Tom suggests Gabby, so his alliance with Gret can continue. Dan agrees, but isn't happy about it. The girls realise that, but Gret made a few lies up about Drew and his notebook and showed it to Tom, making him the second one out of Disventure Camp. Personally, I like Drew. He was a nice character, but he was my least favourite contestant of the season, due to him not having much screen time at all. Nothing was wrong with him, just he's the least interesting character of the season. Overall, like the past 2 episodes, this episode is just great overall. There was so much development, and the moments felt really exciting. Overall, a 9.5 out of 10. Will the next episodes be as great? Let's find out. So far, the drama hasn't really started that much yet. It's been more relaxed. Oh my days! Okay, this is where the drama really starts. This episode is dramatic, but could be funny. Especially this line.
Which one of you wankers took the piss?
Oh, I love Nick.
I think I know who did it.
Yeah, it's you little... I'm not going to say that word. Fiore has had enough of Lil, so she blames it on her. And Nick, being the incompetent fool he is, he believes Fiore. At least Ashley has a brain. After those shenanigans, Fiore gets a book from Alec, but finds a drawing in it from Alec's son, which allowed for some nice moments. On the teal team, Gabby is annoyed at Dan for voting for her yesterday. I feel bad for her. The reward for the challenge is a one-night stay in bed and a phone call home. The challenge is to kayak to that platform that Derek is standing on, which is simplistic but amazing. I wish all Total Drama challenges were like that. This allows for some sad moments between Gret and Gabby, relaxing moments between Lil and Ashley, funny moments between Nick and Fiore, heartwarming moments between Jake and Tom, intriguing moments between Alec and Ellie, and also this. The second part of the challenge was a fight between the contestants, with the teal team getting an advantage, which allowed for some action-packed, amazing, and just overall fun moments. In the end, Jake won it for the teal team by nut-shotting Nick. Fiore proposes to Ellie and Alec to take control of the team and send a person home. And that person is Nick.
Because you're one of the worst in the challenges. Also, I can't stand you.
I personally found Nick really funny. Just how he acts is just golden. Overall, this episode is brilliant. From the interactions to the elimination, it was just amazing. A definite 9.75. Episode 5 begins with the phone calls home that was mentioned from the previous episode as the reward. This is a perfect way for more character development. It is revealed that Gabby has daddy issues. I feel bad. I actually really feel bad for her. She's just an amazing character. And oh, poor Gret. It reveals that she has a sadder side to her. Not she's some strategic mastermind evil for no reason. It's because she wants to feel better in life and her parents will finally be proud of her. But don't worry, we'll get to more of that later. After those two depressing phone calls, we have Dan's, which is actually pretty nice. All happy for Dan. Gret and Gabby bonded? Kinda. Better than nothing, I guess. It's then revealed that Jake's grandma has died, which is really sad. Say what you want about Jake, you've got to feel bad for him. Miriam feels bad too. Ashley and Lil decide to discover Fiore's secrets with that darn diary of hers, to see what that darn bull is up to. Stay tuned to find out. Today's challenge is make a disgusting meal with these ingredients, which is eat, puke and be wary from Revenge of the Island, but 10 times better. Also, it's a double elimination. A member from the winning team gets to eliminate someone from the losing team. While the others look for ingredients, Jake and Miriam are going to be the ones who cook. And this is where Miriam gets amazing. There was such emotion, and Miriam just really showed how much she cared. Meanwhile, Ashley, Lil and Ellie were deciding who's going to get what. They have to win with that scumbag around. Fiore shows the nicer side when wanting to know about Alec's past, but Alec doesn't want to talk about it. Miriam tells about her past, about how on her husband's birthday they got into a road accident and there's no survivors, and that's why she's being harsh. Personally, I really love this moment. It's just full of emotion, and it's Jake and Miriam's best scene in the entire series by far. Gabby and Ellie meet, which has been a while because of Gret, and Gabby tells her all about how her team isn't very nice to her, but Ellie says, you can talk about it with me, and it's so cute. These two are an amazing duo. I'm not sure if they're a couple yet in this series, and if they're going to protect each other, they're going to be the representatives of they're going to get someone else out from the team. So the ingredients has been found. The duos of each team make something with it. Make a pizza or a stew. The teal team's is better. The stew from the purple team is disgusting. And even Dan has to admit,
I can't believe what I'm about to say, but this is delicious!
and the rest of the team is enjoying it too. Which makes Jake a happy boy. Well, here's the reaction to the stew. Yep. Just puke, puke, puke. Teal team, once again, wins. And Gabby's going to be the representative to get one of the purple team's members out. Lil and Ashley expose Fiore, creating some great drama. Alec is like, I don't give a damn. While Ellie is more conflicted. Who's going home? We've got to find out. It's elimination time and we have a surprise guest with an iconic line.
Surprise, bitches! How the tables have turned! Remember when you voted me out at the first day?
Ellie sides with Alec and Fiore, getting both Lil and Ashley out. Lil and Ashley are two of my favourites of the season. I love their friendship. They're just really nice. And their elimination is sad. Overall, this episode is amazing. All the emotion, all the drama, the challenge, the elimination. The episode hits nearly all of it. The problem is, I'm not a big fan of the Patreon reading this time. Yes, I count that. Like, I prefer it when they have more charisma to it and more charm. More reactions to the names. Sadly, this one doesn't have it. But this episode is a 9.75 out of 10. It's amazing. The episode starts with Alec discussing his family with Fiore. It was an interesting scene, especially this line.
Wow, look at Romeo over here. I'm sure money will solve your marital problems.
One of the reasons why Fiore is such an interesting character. Miriam figures out that Jake likes Tom, and she's really supportive. I enjoyed learning about how Jake's ex cheated on him. Poor guy. And Dan apologizes to Gabby again. The challenge is for individual immunity only. It's not the merge. Only one member of each team can get immunity. The others are fair game. They just need to get to this platform somehow and ring the bell, and the first one to ring the bell from each team gets immunity. We'll be hunted down by Jensen with tranquilizers. This challenge is simplistic but effective. Creates a bit of drama too with the whole, immunity thing. During the challenge, Gabby distracts Tom to hunt down Jensen, while Gret tells Jake and Miriam the truth about Tom. Tom is a spy, and apparently only is here for his work. Jake doesn't believe her, because the story does sound stupid, but it is true though. Jake tells Tom about these shenanigans, but Tom tells Jake it was all true. A better reason from the beta. The two bicker a lot, which is actually quite funny, but Miriam says this.
Shut up, both of you! You're acting like children!
And this gets them all eliminated from the game. We cut to the purple team, where Fiore gets shot, and the others leave her behind. Gabby tricks Dan by making him fall in a hole. She's sad about all this lying and tricking. But oh, she'll have her revenge alright. Gret and Gabby are the only ones left from their team now, and are being shot by Jensen. Gabby really has an awesome moment of this. Just look at that. Amazing. But she accidentally hits Ellie. Gret declares she's taking immunity because she did all the hard work. Gabby snaps.
All day I've been doing what you say, and you never ever say thank you! You were sitting on your fat ass this whole time! I'm done with you, Gret! Just because you're projecting your issues with your brother and
So satisfying to see this happening to Gret. And Gabby's win is very satisfying. Alec also gets immunity. Gabby apologises to Gret for being a bit rude, but Gret still threatens her. Miriam has had enough of Gret. Finally. Someone to stand up to her. So Miriam gets Dan and Gabby to vote with her off and get Gret eliminated. And also Alec has to decide between Fiore or Ellie. For the eliminations, it's Gret, which was the most satisfying elimination all of Disventure Camp. Gabby kisses Ellie, which is amazing, but it's also Ellie that has to go too. However, they receive a note. Overall, I love this episode. So many iconic moments, like the argument between Jake and Tom, Gabby snapping at Gret, Miriam telling Dan and Gabby to eliminate Gret, and Gret's elimination. It's all just such a satisfying episode. Nearly everyone was at their best. This is a definite 9.5 out of 10 and it deserves it. Episode 7 starts out with Ellie and Gret reading the note. Turns out they're still in the game, but they have to go to opposite teams, which is a really cool twist and allows for some great interactions from Ellie and Gret, which means more Gab Ellie, yay! But also a new friendship between Jake and Ellie. On the purple trio, Gret just has a rant about the other team. Overall, this beginning is amazing. We have some more amazing interactions between Jake and Ellie. They're just a really nice friendship at the start. They're talking about Tom. The challenge is to having a wheel spun and having to inhale water and spit it out into a container. Once full, it will release a bag. Then one person will have to navigate others who will be blindfolded and they'll have to complete a puzzle. The first one to do so will win. Not only is this the best challenge in Disventure Camp history, in my opinion, so far, this is better than any other Total Drama challenge. It is so unique and so interesting, but it can be real. It's really realistic too. And I think Gabby's enjoying it way too much. Not gonna lie, it does seem quite fun. And Ellie tells Jake to look at Tom's point of view. The second part of the challenge involves many funny injuries. Like they were just hilarious. In the end, it was Purple Team to win. Jake tried to apologise, but Tom wouldn't have it. Then, to go home, Miriam and Dan decided that it's time for Ellie to go. Second time, that would be sucky. However, Gabby is pissed. No, she's not having her girlfriend to be voted off. It's time for that selfish kid to stop being mean to Gabby. Because Gabby is not having it. Things are not looking good for Ellie. At all.
What? What's up?
I have an immunity totem and I want to use it. I want to use this totem to nullify the votes against Ellie.
I mean, I did think it was going to be used for someone bigger. Like maybe Gret stole it off Gabby, causing Gabby to be eliminated. Due to the immunity totem, guess who's gone? It's good old Dan. At last.
Why would you waste your totem on Ellie?
I didn't waste it. I saved her because she treats me like a person.
Yeah, get out of here, Dan. I couldn't actually see him getting much further anyway. I mean, I like Dan a little bit, but he doesn't have much plot. He had some interesting drama with Gabby, I guess, but it's not that much. Overall, this episode's really great. However, I consider it the worst of the season, I guess. And it's not even bad at all. Like, it's still great. 9.25 out of 10. Episode 8 begins with Miriam telling Jake to talk to Tom. He does talk to Tom about how he got cheated on and stuff. And it's not an excuse for how he's acted. However, Tom doesn't want to talk because he's just lost his job. Thanks to Jake. And it's now revealed it's time for the merge at last. And I really loved Gabby's positivity towards that. Meanwhile, the villains are thinking of a plan. Fiore acts all innocent around the former Teal team. Ellie says there's no hard feelings between her and Alec, but Gabby reveals what happened last night in the most dramatic way possible.
They vote for Ellie. She thought all hope was lost. The city cried for a hero. And suddenly, a beacon of light, Gabby, that's me, saved the day with the immunity totem.
This is why I love Gabby so much. Fiore, being Fiore, told a few white lies about Gabby and Ellie. The challenge is to answer opinion-based questions on others, like who do you think would be the least likely to spend the night in the woods? Afterwards, they have to answer who do you think had the most votes for each question. If they get it right, they get to lower a cage for another. Fiore came up with a genius plan to answer them all incorrectly, so the others could fight, which is genius. The plan worked, getting those 5 out of the challenge. Plus, there was some amazing and funny drama between Jake and Gabby in it. Alec and Fiore help Gret win because the other team know how terrible Gret is. In another game twist, Derek, not Trevor, decides to reveal the votes. Turns out everyone's had enough of Gabby. However, sadly for Fiore, Alec and Gret, Fiore and Alec gets exposed for their villainous nature. Here's my reaction to Gabby's elimination.
No!
Also, if you ask me why I love Ellie and Miriam so much, this is why.
You shut up. You can make fun and celebrate all you want, but it won't last long. The 3 of you are still outnumbered.
The one who laughs last laughs the loudest.
Also, here's the saddest scene in Disventure Camp history.
So sorry that they voted you out. If you still had your totem, you could have saved yourself.
Ellie, I don't regret anything I did. I'm happy I saved you. You're the only person here who has ever taken me seriously, and possibly the only person I've ever met who has made me feel valid.
Because you are. There's nothing wrong with you. In the stress of this game, your mood and excitement brightened my days. I hope we'll keep talking when this is all over.
We will.
When Gabby got to the motel, she discovers something horrible, but what? Overall, this is a brilliant episode. In my opinion, a 9.75 out of 10. It was funny, it was sad, the music was amazing. The drama was at its best. It's just an amazing episode. For my opinions on Gabby, she's the best character of the season. I just love how charismatic she is. Her positivity is just so heartwarming and brilliant to see. Even without her in the show now, can this series still be as good? Let's find out. Episode 9 begins with Fiore, Alec and Gret discussing what happened at the previous elimination ceremony and how they were exposed. Gret reveals about how her parents don't love her, and she has to win for them to love her. It's an amazing and beautiful scene, and without it, Gret's character would be probably the worst of the series. Not because she's bad, but it's less impactful. But then we get to this, and it's amazing. Fiore is mad. She tells Alec his love life is a divorce waiting to happen. Other than that, this is also probably my favourite Fiore scene. It's impactful and harsh, but amazing. It's revealed that her mother doesn't love her either, and thinks she's a monster.
I know she's right, but it still hurts to hear.
This makes the characters more human, and the motivation is really great. Will the rest of the episode be as good though? Let's find out. Jake and Tom decide to clear the air, which was nice and adorable. And it's time to see who Tom really is. He takes his mask off, and his face looks like this. I really like his full design. It's really cool. That was for his first job as a spy, for a punishment for being bad at it. He only wore that mask to hide them because they were hideous in his opinion. I love this depth to Tom. Jake doesn't think they're hideous and does this. Yeah! At the challenge zone, they get gassed and wake up. Like this. It's also greatly mysterious and intriguing. Tom and Ellie go search for Derek and Trevor. I like the interactions. They're nice. It's a zombie apocalypse, which maybe seem really unrealistic, but don't worry, that will all get explained. And if it didn't, there's still some really cool action scenes. Ellie got bit, so they had to cut her arm off. Amazing. Now Ellie's a zombie. 1 week later, there's Tom, Jake and Miriam, and Rhett, Fiore and Alec somewhere else. Oh no, Fiore's injured. Yeah, Gret and Alec didn't make it out alive. It's only her left. They hesitatingly help her. It was all a trick so Gret and Alec could steal their food. Tom catches Fiore. And Jesus! This is why YouTube animation is better. They can get away with more things like shooting a 6-year-old. Doesn't work as Alec appears. However, you don't mess with Tom because he just kicks it. He kicks Alec's gun out of the air. And Alec is gone. However, Gret shot Miriam with an arrow. She's our next one gone. Also, how does Fiore know how to drive a van? I love the montage. It's so cool. Just Gret and Fiore working together. Then Gret and Fiore discuss about like Gret's parents and stuff. Really nice. Meanwhile, Jake has had enough of this zombie apocalypse, but Tom reassures him. However, Fiore hides in the bushes and bush snipes Tom. Also, Jake dies, leaving the last two, Gret and Fiore. Let's add one more to the list that Fiore backstabs. Or backshoots, really. Gret is out of the challenge, giving Fiore immunity, which he really needed. Turns out it was just a whole VR headset, which is realistic, and is how to do an unrealistic challenge. They had no time to discuss the vote, so Tom tells Ellie something on the way. Of which of the villains will be going home tonight? It is Gret's turn to go. And her elimination isn't as great as her first one, but it is Gret. And iconic. With this iconic line,
In fact, that includes you. All of you, peace out.
iconic. Overall, this episode is brilliant. I'm just gonna say it. 10 out of 10. For my opinions on Gret, she's my least favourite female of the cast. Not because she's bad, she's good. But in the first 4 episodes I didn't find her that interesting. I guess she was okay in episode 5 and great in episode 6. Wasn't a big fan of her in episode 7 or 8, but then she just came back and blew my socks off in episode 9. Will these amazing episodes continue? I guess we'll just have to find out. Episode 10 starts out with Alec and Fiore strategizing because they're on their own. which was enjoyable and interesting. Then there's less dramatic parts with Miriam, Tom, Jake and Ellie, where it's all sitting around a campfire eating cake. If there was a little bit of drama in this scene, it would be Tom asking Miriam how old she was. Very rude to Tom. However, Ellie needed to go talk to Alec. Well, actually Alec wanted to talk to Ellie about what's happened and stuff. And Alec wants her to consider what happens after he and Fiore go. She would be the next one out. For the challenge, each player had to do 6 mini challenges to win a necklace. The one who gets all 6 necklaces wins immunity. Well, the first one anyway. On the way, Tom finds a map which will allow him to find the immunity totem. Well, a second one. Hopefully this immunity totem is much more dramatic than the last. Throughout the challenge there are some amazing interactions between Miriam and Jake, as Miriam helped him how to use a bow and arrow. Even with the stress of all this strategy with Alec, Fiore, this show still has some relaxing moments, like the start. What is Tom's biggest mistake? Telling Ellie that he's found a map to find the immunity totem. Ellie is conflicted on if she should join Alec and Fiore. And will she split the alliance between Miriam, Jake and Tom? She's noticed how gullible Jake is, so if she tells Jake a few lies about Tom, he'll surely believe it. What I like about Ellie in this scene is how conflicted it is. It's really showing how she is sympathetic. She just really needs the money. Probably the most in the show. And it's not like Rhea when it's so drastic. She's been like that from the start. And it's amazing. Yes, I do like Ellie. She's an amazing character. So, she makes an ultimatum. Each of them give 2 necklaces. And if she wins immunity, she votes with them. And make sure Jake never trusts Tom again. Ellie is the one to win immunity and a guaranteed spot in the final 5. In the night while the others are sleeping, Ellie tells Fiore and Alec about Tom's possible immunity totem. I told you he was going to regret that. The next morning, Ellie tells Jake a lie that Tom was cheating on him with a secret boyfriend. Jake being Jake, he believes it. Tom is mad about Jake's out of nowhere anger towards him, as he should. He's also really upset about it after everything, and talks to Miriam about it. I really like Miriam's involvement. Ellie feels really bad about what happened, which I really love about her. Like, she's sympathetic, but she'll do anything to win. Makes her more complex. Anyways, it's time for probably the most hated Disventure Camp Season 1 scene. Episode 10's elimination. My question is, do I like it or do I not? Is it like Rhea's where I agree, her character is not good? Or do I have something else to say? Alec told Ellie to vote for Jake. Guess he might be going home. Before the votes were read, Fiore had something to say. Fiore exposed Ellie for what she said and how it was all a lie. It's amazing. But oh no, it doesn't end here. This is the start of the tense moment. And just look at Ellie's facial expression and how her eyes moved. Tom is mad that Jake spoke to Ellie and not him. It's an incredibly dramatic moment, and in my opinion, it's amazing. I know it can be seen a bit rushed to some people, but I think it was paced alright. Anyways, it's genius. It's personally some of my favourite writing in all of media. Oh wait, it doesn't end there. They know about Tom's immunity totem, thanks to Ellie. Oh yeah, and this is one of the moments that make Fiore better than any total drama villain. Her strategy. Anyways, just look at all these facial expressions. Not even total drama can do stuff like this that conveys such emotion. Imagine a fan-made project being better than this. Anyways, it's revealed that Ellie, Alec and Fiore voted for Jake. So if Tom doesn't use his totem, Jake is gone. Tom is hesitant to use it on Jake for how he's acted, but Miriam, being the smart person she is, tells him to use it because if Jake goes, her and Tom are next. Ellie is very confused on why Alec and Fiore are so chill about it. Tom decides he needs to use his totem. Just amazing. Ellie voted for Jake. Tom voted for Fiore. Miriam voted for Fiore. Fiore voted for Tom. They lied. Absolutely genius. And Jake voted for Tom. Or was that Alec? And Tom is out. Genius. This is incredible writing. This is the best elimination. Not only just Disventure Camp, it's better than any other total drama elimination. It's genius. It's unpredictable, dramatic, and everything about it is just perfect. How do writers think of something like this? This episode is incredible. A 9.75 out of 10. I guess a little bit was a bit rushed, but that's just a nitpick. For my opinions on Tom, he's really cool. I think he's my favourite male of Disventure Camp. He's just really interesting. And I like how nice he is and how he changes. His plot is great, everything about him is great. Will episode 11 be as good though? Ah, the sweet smell of tension, especially between Jake and Ellie. The argument was fun and enjoyable. Is that wrong for me for saying that? It sounds it. It's just interesting. And some of the lines said had a bit of wit to it. Miriam calls out Ellie's behaviour, and guess what? She treats her with respect. And it's more like, why did you do that? Instead of like, shouting at her and stuff. She seems mad and disappointed. And Ellie's sympathy does show through when she does say sorry. Which is really nice. It is in Ellie's character. She feels guilty for doing bad stuff, but she still does it anyway because she has to. Don't worry, this won't last long. Soon we'll have major Ellie problems. The challenge is to go underground and make your way to the platform. However, it's really dark. As Trevor and Derek aren't complete monsters, they'll give the contestants 5 backpacks, 3 with drained torches and 2 with batteries. This is a great way for there to be trust, but only one person can win, so there's going to be some backstabbing. Also down there is a massive scorpion. Jake and Miriam have flashlights, and also Ellie, so that means Alec and Fiore have the batteries. First one to get attacked, Fiore! Ooh. So Alec pulls a man and charges into the scorpion, saving Fiore. However, the scorpion wants revenge. Fiore doesn't want to leave, but Alec tells her to.
Did I feel worried when Alec got attacked by the scorpion? It's like I cared about his well-being? Weird.
This is why this is my least favourite episode for Fiore. This contributes to nothing. You'll see next episode. Fiore teams up with Jake and Miriam. The other two are very hesitant about it, knowing that it is Fiore. I forgot to mention last episode that Gabby found Tom, and she is now showing that big mess. Trevor and Derek have used Jensen to kill the animals, and Gabby wants Tom to investigate it because he's a special agent. I really love this scene. It really starts an amazing friendship between Tom and Gabby. It's unexpected but enjoyable. Ellie is forced to work with Alec, and Alec talks about the older days where they were the outcast on Purple Team, which I really like. It feels circular to the past time, and it feels like it's coming full circle. Shows Alec's sympathy too. Each character in the show does have a bit of sympathy and makes them more human. Ellie swings across, leaving Alec behind. Why is Miriam the only one who's not backstabbed? Fiore purposely switches off the flashlight, causing Jake to fall. Meanwhile, Jake and Ellie reunite. Jake's acting like a brat and doesn't want to work with Ellie. However, there's a massive scorpion and chases Jake down. Finally! But Ellie throws a rock at it. It shows she still has a bit of sympathy left. Fiore is a lost little lamb and Alec is looking for her. I really loved their father-daughter dynamic this episode. It's really nice to see with all this drama. What I do like about Fiore in this episode is her childlike side. Even though she's evil, she's still a child. Then we get back to Jake and Ellie. Even though she saved his life, he is still going on about how... What about the incident? I'd hate to admit it, but Jake was a little annoying this episode. They reach the end zone, and if Ellie gives him the win, maybe he'll forgive them. Because of course. But Ellie is not having any of that bullcrap, and she just goes on about him and absolutely roasts Jake. Satisfied to see how, and amazing, but not gonna lie, I was disappointed, I guess. Ellie is not the type of person to lash out at people like this. This is so out of character for her. There's no sympathy in it. There's no care in it. There's no empathy. She just, satisfying but out of character. She nearly wins, but Alex stops her. Maybe if she wasn't out of character really ranting, she would have won the challenge. There wasn't much time between the challenge finishing and the elimination, but Alec and Ellie sided with Ellie and got Jake gone. No matter what I think of Jake this episode, his goodbye to Miriam was really wholesome. Like, super duper wholesome. It was so nice. But it's time for Jake to go. Miriam is upset at the eliminations of Tom and Jake, so it's no more Mrs. Nice Gran. Afterwards, Tom gives his old boss a call and tells what these shenanigans are about with Jensen. Overall, this episode hasn't been as great as the previous 3, but this episode is still incredible. If it only wasn't for Ellie's rant and then Jake's being annoying, this episode would have been better, but as it is, it's 9.5 out of 10. Oh, my character opinion? Jake. Right. I know Jake gets a lot of hate, and I do really understand why. He's a naive, sensitive boy. But I actually really like Jake. Well, yeah. I do really like Jake. He's like Aiden, but I do prefer him over Aiden. He's got more things that are going for him. His friendship with Miriam is so wholesome, and I really do enjoy Jake and Tom. He's probably my least favourite of the final 5, but this doesn't stop me from enjoying him. Will this show keep the momentum up and even get better? Let's go find out. Episode 12 begins with a surprise. First of all, I really like this line.
Food? Is it food?
No, better, it's letters from home!
I just love Trevor's excitement. We get to see a picture of Miriam with her son and her husband. It's really nice to see it. Ellie gets a letter from her dad saying how proud he is of her and unpaid bills. Alec gave the letter, but Fiore burnt it. And then Fiore talks about her dream after becoming a millionaire, and Alec supports it. Adorable. Alec got a letter from his wife, and he decided he's moving out if he wins the million or not. Ellie and Miriam bond, which is really nice to see. And Miriam says that she's not voting for Ellie at all. They need Alec gone. He's the biggest threat. Even after the last 2 elimination ceremonies, it's really nice to see Ellie and Miriam bond. The challenge starts, and it's in pairs. Which pair won the most challenges will have a guaranteed spot in the final 3, and also send a member of the losing pair home. The pairs are decided by matching rocks. Ellie and Alec work together, and Miriam Fiore. The first challenge is the iconic cliff dive. Ellie and Alec go first, while Fiore gets thrown off. Amazing. But she does miss the target, meaning that Ellie and Alec win. Next game, tug of war, and Ellie and Alec win. Again. Miriam tells Ellie to stop winning the challenges, because that would mean Alec would be in the finale guaranteed. But Ellie is worried about Fiore and stuff, which is fair. She's a pretty good competitor. Miriam said she was going to try her best to switch Fiore to their sides. What, would she rather face Alec or those two? Right, this is the biggest Trevor and Derek scene of the season. Yeah, they don't have many. And we also have an iconic line from Trevor, like always.
Groove with me, Derek, groove!
Then they discussed about clearing the forest for more seasons and having to kill the animals. Trevor is actually quite against it, but Derek needs it, and they're not even doing it. It's Jensen who's doing it. Personally, I wish I saw more of these scenes. Just one of them would not cut it, I don't think. They're quite underdeveloped characters. The next challenge is light a campfire with no matches. Ellie gives the fire to Miriam, causing their first point. For the next challenge, one person they have to get this flag from a flagpole. Miriam throws Fiore up the pole flag, and she catches it. I actually really like that duo. Miriam talks to Fiore about bringing her and Ellie to the finale, other than Alec. The final challenge is to remain on this pole the longest. Miriam falls first, and her fate relies on Fiore. Alec trusts Ellie to remain, as she's much lighter. However, Ellie betrays Alec and causes them to lose the challenge. Kind of ironic, knowing how much Alec betrayed Ellie. To take to the finale, Miriam chooses Ellie, and Fiore has a tough time deciding whether to bring Ellie or Alec to finale, but she chooses Ellie! Alec gets very annoyed and upset. It's just such a tense scene, and I love it. And just look at that 5, staring at Alec, all happy. Absolutely hilarious. Overall, an absolutely brilliant episode. It's just so tense, and the challenges are amazing. Everything is good. A 9.75 out of 10. Over my opinions on Alec, I like him. I like his plot. He's quite deep in character. He's an interesting villain. Oh, is he a villain? Anyways, next episode is the finale. Will it impress me? Let's find out. Episode 13 starts out with the final 3 giving their experiences in this camp. It reminds me of Total Drama Island, and I really love that. Afterwards, we get to hear some of the ex-contestants' experiences, and we get to learn some other things like Ashley and Will are
dating!
The contestants give their support, or lack of, if you're Fiore. For the challenge, they get a helper each. Fiore got Gret, Miriam got Tom, and Ellie got Gabby. Now Ellie has to go get the key. Ellie loses her key because of Gret, which makes Gabby very angry. Tom talks to Miriam about Jake, and Miriam advises Tom to speak with him. Better to live life with no regrets. Now they have to use their map to get to the finish line, but Fiore steals Miriam's. Fiore tricks Miriam just in case Ellie catches up, making Fiore the first one to reach the finish line. However, Miriam is gonna have a heart attack. Ellie watches Miriam to make sure she's okay. However, it's all a trick. So Ellie gets her pushback, causing Miriam to get to the finish line. And Ellie to be eliminated. I'm not gonna say my thoughts on Ellie. I already have my opinion on the scene. Comedy gold and genius. The final challenge is to dig for a canister, go to the top of the hill, fill up a go-kart and race, and whoever does that wins the million. Gret ruined Miriam's vehicle, however Tom changed the flags. Fiore managed to find... Fiore is off, but her vehicle is quite broken, thanks to Tom. And Miriam is soaring off now, ready to take down Fiore. With some awesome bumping. Miriam looks like she's gonna win. Oh wait, oops. And oops again. And this makes Miriam the winner of Disventure Camp Season 1. A very satisfying winner. However, let's put the animal storyline to an end. Derek and Trevor and Jensen get arrested. However, Jensen is still there and hits a policeman and runs off with Miriam's money. All of a sudden, Tom goes after him, but Jensen drives off a cliff. Tom arrives with no money. JK, Miriam wins still! And Tom's now a cop. And Tom actually talks to Jake and not anything off screen like in the original. Having everything being satisfied. Crystal is back and turns out it's all just her watching it. And now it's time for Disventure Camp All-Stars. Odd Nation Cartoons thanks everyone for all the love, which is really nice. Venus should have been there though. Overall, this episode is a 10 out of 10. It just hit every single note. The characters were amazing, the drama was amazing, it was unexpected. And it's the longest Disventure Camp episode, which is amazing. I was just having a fun time all throughout it. My opinions on Miriam and Fiore. I really like Fiore. She's a great villain. And she's also really unique. And I like how they've added some human stuff to her to make her seem more developed than like Julia. I honestly prefer her over all the Total Drama villains. And Miriam is just great. She had amazing development. And a lot of her moments are really wholesome. So yeah, now it's time for the conclusion. From start to end, Disventure Camp Season 1 is a treat to watch. The drama, the characters, the iconic moments, the eliminations, the music, everything just hits with Disventure Camp. It's nearly perfect, except for a few minor nitpicks. My final rating is a 9.75 out of 10. My episode ranking: number 13, episode 7, 6, 11, 3, 2, 5, 10, 1, 12, 8, 4, 9, and finally 13. Right, that's the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it. I know it was very long, but this show really does deserve it. Hope you enjoyed it, so bye.